Trinity stared out the window of her small apartment, the city lights twinkling like distant stars. Life hadn't turned out at all the way she had envisioned. At 25, she had imagined herself thriving in a high-powered career, her art displayed in galleries, and living in a spacious loft. Instead, she worked long hours as a barista, her paintings collecting dust in her closet, and her dreams feeling more out of reach with each passing day. Nothing on her checklist had been checked off. One evening, after an exhausting shift, Trinity wanted to take a stroll through a nearby quiet park. She needed a break from staring at the walls of her cramped apartment. She took her sketch pad, although she really felt too drained to draw. She sat on a bench, clutching her sketch pad while in deep thought. As she stared blankly ahead, an elderly woman shuffled over and took a seat beside her. "Good evening, dear," the woman said with a surprisingly warm smile. Her eyes twinkled with a wisdom Trinity couldn't yet comprehend. "Hello," Trinity replied, attempting a polite smile. The woman glanced at the sketch pad in Trinity's hands. "Oh, do you draw?" Trinity nodded, feeling a lump form in her throat. "Well, I used to. Not so much anymore." "Why not?" the woman asked, her tone gentle but probing. "Life, I guess. Things haven't worked out the way I thought they would," Trinity admitted, surprised by her own honesty. The woman nodded, her eyes softening with understanding. "I know exactly how that feels. May I tell you a story?" Trinity nodded, intrigued despite herself. "My name is Mrs. Johnson," the woman began. "When I was your age, I had big dreams too. I wanted to be a singer. I had the voice, the talent, but not the opportunities. I faced rejection after rejection, and just when I was about to give up, I met a woman who changed my life." Trinity listened, captivated. She told me that life isn't about the setbacks we face, but how we rise above them. She encouraged me to keep singing, to keep pursuing my passion. And so, I did. I sang at church, special events, and wherever I could. Eventually, I found my place in the world. It wasn't the grand stage I had imagined, but it was mine. I taught music for over 30 years, and every day I got to share my love of singing with others. Mrs. Johnson looked at Trinity, her gaze piercing. "Don't let life's disappointment steal your dreams, dear. Persevere. It won't happen overnight, but keep drawing. You never know where your art might take you." Trinity felt a spark ignite within her, the embers of her passion rekindling. "Thank you so much, Mrs. Johnson. I really needed to hear that. All of that." Mrs. Johnson patted her hand. "Remember, the journey may not look the way you expect, but it's still your journey. Embrace it and enjoy the ride." As Mrs. Johnson stood to leave, Trinity opened her sketch pad and began to draw. Her heart felt lighter than it had been in months. She realized that her dreams were still alive, waiting for her to breathe life into them once more. Trinity returned home. No longer discouraged, she looked out of her window, and this time, she was thankful for where she was in life and for the talent she has been blessed with. As she prepared for bed, she knew deep in her heart she would persevere, just as Mrs. Johnson had. Thank you for stopping by CC's Place. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and click on the notification bell for future videos. Also leave a comment below.